Petition drive to put medical marijuana on the Nebraska ballot is quickly racking up signatures.
Supporters of the issue have tried to put it on the ballot twice now. Organizers are confident this time will be different. Brian Mastry is live tonight to explain why.
Aaron, organizers have reason for their optimism this holiday season because of the previous two attempts at gathering signatures created a number of benchmarks for them. Let's look back. The first time volunteers hit the street got the right number of signatures, but then the Supreme Court stepped in. And then last time, organizers simply ran out of time and did not get enough signatures. So let's look inside the numbers at the reasons for this optimism. In the first 4 months of the 2020 medical marijuana petition drive, volunteers collected just over 1,300 signatures. Now in the 2022 drive, 4 months in, the team had collected nearly 5,500. But 4 months into the drive for the 2024 election, volunteers have collected more than 50,000 signatures. The goal here is 174,000 by July. And then you see those bottom graphics in terms of qualifying counties. Look at the difference here. The petition drive needs to do that in 38 counties. Volunteers have already done that in 16 counties. But look at the other two times. They barely scratched the surface then.
And so that's why it's different. We are sitting in a completely different place than ever before. Doesn't mean that we don't have a huge job ahead of us, challenges ahead of us, but I'm very happy with how we're closing out this year.
For Krista Eggers of Gretna, the campaign manager for Nebraskans for medical marijuana, this petition drive to put it on the November 2024 ballot has one constant. It's still personal. Her son Colton, who's in the 3rd grade now, still struggles with epileptic seizures as he navigates 27 pills every day, combinations that come with side effects.
He still faces having daily seizures, quite a few actually a day, but the day soon is going to come that we will get to use this as an option for Colton, and that'll be a great day.
The target date to turn in the signatures? July 3rd, meaning volunteers have more than 6 months to hit the goal. As it stands, Nebraska is one of 3 states without any medical marijuana options on the books.
Now, the drive to put medical marijuana on the ballot still faces some opposition from some powerful people in Nebraska. In fact, Governor Pillen believes that medical marijuana should only happen if it's undergone the FDA approval process. On your side in Midtown Omaha, Brian Mastry, 6 News.
Well, another